Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Last Resort's VM001 shoe. Now I gotta say, I really have a love and hate relationship with Last Resort. I really love their style, their marketing, all the footage they put out. But for the actual product itself, it's always been very mixed to me. I did do a video review on their first initial run of shoes, where it still had that non-removable thin leather insole, and I thought the shoe really wasn't great. Honestly, it's not a very good video review because I was sick during that. But anyways, I did get another one of their shoes when they launched the new insole. And at first the shoe felt really good, but after a few days it really started hurting my feet. It felt very uncomfortable. The suede was fading super quickly, and the sole, it felt like it was getting bald super fast. I really didn't like shoes. I ended up giving them away. Later on I ended up getting their VM006s, which is their penny loafers or tassel loafers, and they felt really uncomfortable to wear around, even just casually. I ended up selling those. And clearly I did not learn my lesson because I ended up buying another pair. And it's mainly because it's for a future video. That being said, I just want to see where they are now, and did they improve their product quality. And also, I ended up buying this Popeye magazine because they have a whole thing about Last Resort in here. I mean, not like a full-length interview, but they have a 2-page spread about him. And it's really just about, why the author likes him. And I thought it was really cool. Something for the collection and all you fashionistas out there. And by the way, this is Popeye issue 925, May 2024. Just in case you're thinking about picking it up. Anyways, let's get into the actual review. So when you get the shoes, it comes with the shoes itself and 2 pairs of laces. One's already going to be attached to the shoes, and the other one is going to be nicely bundled up. And in this day and age, this is a very pleasant sight to see, a shoe coming with 2 sets of laces. Now for the sizing, when I read it online, it seems very inconsistent. Some people say go true to size, some people say go down a size, some people say go up a size for some reason. For me personally, this shoe model, VM001, I don't know about the other models, this one fit half a size down for me. I felt my true to size was just a little bit too big, and I definitely wouldn't have sized up since my true to size already felt too big. Sizing down half a size for me made the shoe feel nice, snug, and secure. This is also a narrow fitting shoe. If you have wide feet, I would either look elsewhere or I would try on different sizes in person before buying a pair. I also found that on both feet, kind of around this area, like right around where my toes start, it really squeezes in there, even if I wear the shoe, or at least the shoe pretty loose. I always felt like kind of this area right here would always squeeze my feet. It's not to the point where it was like super uncomfortable, but it was definitely a noticeable thing. So keep that in mind if you don't like your shoe fitting like that. The shoe also doesn't have any tongue straps. So, as you can see here, it just kind of moves around. For some people, this may be a bad thing. So for some people, it may be a good thing. It can be a good thing if you feel like elastic tongue straps really just squeeze your foot and makes it super uncomfortable. I've had some shoes I've had some shoes do that to me in the past. You won't have a problem with these shoes. And I also found that actually wearing and skinny shoes, the tongue just stays secure like that rather than going to the side or flopping everywhere. So this shoe really doesn't need those tongue straps. The insole is also removable. It's not glued in. You can just slip it out and it comes out just like that. Wearing these insoles, I find that they feel pretty soft. Maybe too soft for some people. For me, they are on the side a little bit too soft. I like my insoles personally to be soft, but also have a good balance of firmness as well. I feel like that's a very good balance. So I would say definitely try these on and see if they're right for you. But of course, if you don't like the stock insole, you can always just replace it. And if you're wondering when your shoe came out, you just remove the insole, and on the inside of the shoe, it's going to say what drop these shoes came out. So in my case, these shoes came out drop 14. Now let's get into what the good things about the shoe is. For me personally, there's no heel blistering. So I find sometimes with low top shoes like this, where they have kind of a padded collar, I find that like oftentimes my heel really rubs up against this part, and then my heels start to bleed. Very uncomfortable, sucks a lot. Eventually the problem goes away, but you know, you're kind of just stuck there with like bloody heels for like a week or two. I've had that happen to me with the Vans old schools and the Vans eras. These shoes do not have that problem, and I am very glad that they do not, because I was a little worried about that. I'll say these shoes have pretty good board feel, actually. Now, it's a little bit strange, because at first, when you get these shoes, they are going to feel kind of chunky and blocky, because your feet's right here, and then it feels like there's kind of a space between your foot and your board, at least on this side, when you're ollieing. Like, it feels like there's like a ton of material on this side, and when you do your ollies or kickflips, it feels like there's kind of a disconnect between your foot and your board, if that makes any sort of sense. That being said, once you get used to these shoes and skate them more and break them in, then they feel really nice and pretty alright, pretty good for board feel. They also have a very simple look to them. There is very minimal branding. Really, it's just on the heel and on the tongue, right there. There's no like big old logos on the side or anything like that. It's a very nice basic shoe if you really like that sort of style, you know? Personally, I really love it. And you know, if you know what Last Resort is and you see these from a distance, you're just gonna know that it's a Last Resort shoe. The design really speaks for itself rather than the branding. I would say it has pretty good durability so far. Right now, I've had these for about 2 weeks or so. For the suede, only real damage is gonna be the color fading. Which is a problem I had with the previous shoes, but really that is cosmetic. As for the toe area, right now it's holding up fine. I have worn through quite a bit of it to where it doesn't have its original shape anymore, and then this line here, I've made it smooth. That being said, I do expect this toe area to last a pretty decent amount of time. I don't expect to blow a hole through it anytime soon. Okay, so now what's the bad parts about these shoes? I find the sole, it's wearing down fairly fast. Now, I've only had these for a couple weeks, and I took a picture of the soles when they were new. Now, for this area right here, these little squares, they are supposed to be higher than this flat part here with little bumps. Now on this shoe, now that square area is level with that bumpy area, and then on this shoe, it's almost level with that bumpy area as well. There's good amount of heel wear and balding on both shoes. There's also a bonus on this part of the shoe, and then this part of the shoe is catching up as well on the sole. Also on this shoe in particular, this area is worn down to where you can see toe bumper and the sole are definitely like two different pieces. You can tell it's very noticeable. Now, this is very nitpicky, but I'm bringing it up for a future point. But the more I skate these, maybe like 2 or 3 more weeks, I do fully expect the soles to be bald in major places, such as this area or in the heel. And I do find that compared to new to now, the shoes don't have as much grip as they had when they were new. And for 2 weeks, that's pretty fast. They're also not very good for high impact skating. So I find that, you know, if you skate like gaps, stairs, you're stomping down a lot, you're landing hard on your feet all the time, you're running down transition all the time, it's not a very good shoe for that. You can really feel the impact. It's painful. It really sucks. There were a couple of times where on a trick I kind of bailed and then landed hard on my heel, and I could really feel that impact, and it really did hurt. I could really feel the pain and discomfort for a couple hours after. I also did try skating a little short about 3 foot drop, and for me, I could still really feel the impact from just such a short height. It really sucked. I did plan on skating something that's taller in height, but just from that 3 foot drop, I really just didn't want to try that out anymore. So, like I said, high impact skaters, you would want to look elsewhere. That being said, you can always replace the insoles with something else. You know, just figure out what works for you. Alright, so the last bad thing about this shoe, and the biggest one for me, it's going to be the price. Right now, the VM001s retail at $95. And for what you get when you buy these shoes, that is a very high price. You're getting a very basic vulcanized shoe. It looks plain, not flashy, good board feel, impact protection, it's not great, you know, so it wears down kind of fast. Considering everything you get out of the shoe, I would say it's a very high price point for that. And then there's a lot of other shoes that do the same exact thing, but also maybe better. So what's a shoe that's very plain looking, minimal branding, has good board feel, good impact protection, and generally good durability, especially in the sole? Well, it's the Vans Authentics. This is the skate model, by the way. In my opinion, this does everything the VM001s are doing, but it's only $60 rather than $95. And that is a huge price difference. And you know, I like the insole a lot better. It's removable, it feels thicker, at least in the heel, but it has a very good balance of being soft and firm. It also has good board feel, has really good durability, and the sole also is just much better. There isn't any major bald spots. The only thing that's really bald is like very small, minute details. These like little triangle holes, but the grip still feels very, very consistent. And yeah, like I said, there's no major bald spots. And I've had these shoes for I think like 3 years by now, skating them kind of on and off. And again, what does the VM001s do bad? The sole wears down kind of fast. They're not good for high impact, and they're $95. And these guys do the same exact thing, better I say, and it's only $60. And one, this is not sponsored by Vans, so don't get that wrong. And two, ignore the whole, you know, support skater own brands things for a second. I'm purely talking about product comparison here, because you know, no matter what your values are, whatever you want to support and all that, objectively, this is kind of the better deal if you're just looking at it from a consumer standpoint. Because if I go into the shop and I see two products, they're, you know, similar and the same, you know, however you want to look at it, but one is $60 and one is $95, generally I'm going to go with the $60 option, especially nowadays where skateboard stuff is just really expensive, but the quality is generally the same. And then from what I've know from like kind of talking to like, you know, skate shop people, is that the last resorts, they're actually a really hard sell generally for people. The people that are buying these are because they get it discounted or because they're like super big fans of the brand. But generally, you know, basic vulcanized shoe that I guess does you know, vulcanized shoe things, you know, there's just a lot of cheaper and maybe better options out there. So yes, the price is going to be the biggest bad point for me. That being said, you are going to make your own purchase decisions. You know, if you're okay with the price or you can find it on sale and you really like what Last Resort is doing, you know, go for it. It's your money. Would I ever get these again for skateboarding? If I got them on sale, sure. Or, you know, if they drop in price, then yeah, probably actually. But, you know, buying it for retail and knowing what I get out of $95 really isn't worth it for me, because for $95 you can get a lot of other shoes. You know, you can get really good cup soles, you can get really other good vulcanized shoes, you know. So it's really, really tough trying to justify this shoe for its retail price at $95. So that's really all I got to say about this shoe. I'm still gonna skate these for future videos and just, you know, when I'm skating in my personal life, I guess. Hopefully this video has helped. And a couple things, I now have an Instagram. You can find that in the description below. And in the description, there's also a number of affiliate links. And if you buy stuff through those links, I get a small commission out of that. And it's a very good way of supporting me and the channel. So thank you very much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next one.